Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the January 14th meeting of the Comox Valley Recreation Commission. My name is Jake Martins. I'm the General Manager of Corporate Services and the Corporate Officer for the Comox Valley Regional District. In accordance with the CVRD's procedure bylaw, I'm pleased to call this meeting to order for the purposes of conducting the election for the chair and vice chair positions for 2025. I'll start just by recognizing that we're conducting our business today on the traditional unceded territories of the Comox First Nation. The election of the chair and vice chair are generally considered or conducted in the same general process in which we will call for nominations for the position. Any director or commissioner may nominate another for such position. At the end of that process, I will ask in reverse order for those that are nominated, they will allow their name to stand. Should there be more than one commissioner that is nominated and accepts the nomination, we will then conduct a vote to determine the ultimate chair or vice chair. Respecting that. So with that, commissioners, are there any questions regarding the process? Overall, not seeing any. So with that, I will call a first time for nominations for the position of chair. And I'll start with Commissioner Kerr.
I'd like to nominate Director McCollum.
Much. I will call a second time. I see Commissioner Grieve.
Thank you. I'd like to nominate Director Grant.
Thank you very much. And I will call a third and final time for any nominations for the position of chair. Seeing none. Commissioner Grant, do you allow your name to stand?
No, I think I've got enough stuff on the go right now.
Okay.
I'll allow Director McCollum to have the duty of that.
Okay, thank you. And Commissioner McCollum, do you allow your name to stand? Yes, she's confirming the affirmative. So with that, I'm pleased to announce Chair McCollum re-elected for 2025 for the position of chair. So we'll move on to the vice chair position and same general process. So I'll invite nominations, call a first time for nominations for the position of vice chair and Commissioner Grieve.
Yes, once again, I'd like to nominate Ken Grant.
Thank you. I will call a second time and Commissioner McCollum.
I'd like to nominate Director Brown.
Thank you.
Apologies, I didn't talk to you in advance.
Surprises are welcome. And I will call a third and final time for any nominations. Seeing none, Commissioner Brown, do you allow your name to stand?
Just did.
Thank you, as confirmed. And Commissioner Grant, do you allow your name to stand?
No, I think I'll let Director.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I'm pleased to announce Commissioner Brown acclaimed to the position of vice chair for 2025. Thank you, commissioners, for your participation. With that, I will turn matters over to Chair McCollum to preside over the remainder of the meeting.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for the support for the chair position again for the upcoming year. Hopefully, we'll see some projects advance, especially around the AAP that's currently underway for the artificial turf field. I don't believe that we did our recognition of Trish, or did we? Oh, okay. Well, then moving right along. First up is the resolution status report. Can I get a motion for receipt? Moved by Hillian, seconded by Grant. Any questions or comments on that? And, Director Jolicoeur.
Yeah, thanks, Chair, and congratulations. Item number 7, happy to see an update here on this resolution from March 23. Curious, I think the previous few updates we had, there was an item there that had stated that there was conversations happening with the city of Courtenay, and I'm happy to see that there's been conversations with our colleagues out in Cumberland. I'm wondering if there's anything on the city of Courtenay side of things.
I will ask Doug DeMarzo if you're speaking to the resolution from March that seeks to formalize a municipal facility support agreement under this service. And I'll just ask Doug DeMarzo, our general manager of community services, if he can speak to that. I do know there is much discussion happening around in particular, the Courtenay outdoor pool. And that's something that you'll see through the financial planning presentation. But I don't know if there's anything more specific that Doug could add on the facility service agreement or facility support agreement. Doug, do you want to come? I don't see much more to add at this point, actually, from Doug, but we can also look to provide you some more specific feedback around the dialogue with Courtenay and with Town of Comox, for that matter, if that would be appropriate. Doug, do you have anything to add to the question?
Yeah, thanks through the chair and CAO. I think that's correct. We are continuing dialogue with the city of Courtenay. A lot of it's awaiting some decisions around the continuous wait around the pool. Also, the city of Cumberland, or sorry, the village of Cumberland, we're also looking at options for proceeding with agreements for that. And that's kind of contingent on the next meeting, is kind of contingent on the AAP process here with the artificial turf field. And once we know the results of that, we'll re-engage with Cumberland around those service type agreements as well. So those are the two outstanding ones. There will be a briefing note provided during budget that kind of goes into more detail around the pool and expectations there. So that's all. Any questions?
Thanks for that. And yeah, seeing no other lights on, we'll just vote on receipt. Is there anyone opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. And moving on to reports, recreation facility rental policy. I'll pass that to staff. Yeah, thanks. Moved by Graves, seconded by Grant.
Thanks, Chair. Trish Morgan, our Assistant Senior Manager of Recreation Services, will be introducing this report and will be able to participate in the discussion to follow. Trish.
Thank you. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation today. I'll just give you a verbal presentation on the policy. So I'm going to introduce the Commission to the proposed recreation facility and booking policy. As noted in the staff report, the CVRD has well-established procedures for the rental of our facilities, including assuring that all renters complete a rental application, a contract, and provide proof of insurance. However, there isn't currently a policy in place that guides our decision-making with respect to the prioritization of our facility rentals, compliance of rules, and renter expectations. Therefore, the purpose of the policy is to fill these gaps by providing a consistent and transparent framework for the allocation of CVRD recreation facilities and booking criteria that emphasizes fair and equitable access while ensuring our facilities are not used to promote hatred or discrimination. As you may know, some local governments have been facing increased challenges where organizations have attempted to rent public facilities to promote hatred and discrimination. Such incidents have highlighted the need for clear policies that safeguard our public spaces from being used in ways that undermine community values, violate human rights, or incite harm. As such, local governments and other organizations like public libraries have started to adopt stricter policies that prohibit facility use in cases where organizers are promoting hate or discrimination. Some key components of the policy include compliance measures that prohibit events that promote hatred or discrimination in alignment with the provisions of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the Criminal Code, and the BC Human Rights Code, supporting the board's strategic driver of accessibility, equity, diversity, and inclusion. An appeal process in the case that an organization has been refused a rental and would like to appeal the decision. A rental prioritization framework, which is the same as the ICE allocation policy and is consistent with most local governments, starting with CVRD programs first, school use, followed by youth non-for-profit, etc. And then renter responsibilities with respect to insurance, compliance with laws, and paying for damages. And finally, payment, deposit, and cancellation policies. And finally, as part of the policy in the schedule, organizations are required to sign a declaration of commitment declaring that they will refrain from the promotion of hatred and discrimination. This declaration will need to be signed with a rental request before the rental can occur. Overall, the policy will reinforce many of our administrative procedures while addressing the gaps that currently exist. Are there any questions?
Just looking around the room, it looks like Director Brown has a question. Go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. I'm curious about the definition of major event. It looks like a major event is anything over 3 hours, which seems not major to me. I'm just wondering what that classification means and what the implications of it are.
Through the chair to Director Brown. So a major event would be something like a swim meet, a hockey tournament, that sort of a thing. So not allocation for a hockey game, but a tournament. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I don't see any other lights on. Yeah, I just want to appreciate, I will stop my wrap-up comments right there and pass it to Director Shelley.
Yeah, thanks, sir. I'll let you do the wrap-up comments. I was just curious, and thank you for bringing this forward. And I really see this as an action that we can say we've taken in addressing that pillar in our commission strategic plan in regards to promoting equity across all equity-seeking groups and the protection of protected persons and groups of persons in our community. I know from the city of Courtney's perspective, this is also something that's been top of mind, and we've heard and staff spoke to the pressures that municipalities are under as it relates to organizations and groups of individuals who might move things forward that are counter to what we want to have in our spaces. So I guess the only thing, less of a question, but more seeking interest from commissioners around just an additional motion here to refer the policy to our municipal partners, in part because, we haven't had to look very far in time to see some issues with groups coming to the Comox Valley. And it often feels like we're scrambling as elected officials to seek support, whether it be for Indigenous peoples in our community or for members from other equity-seeking groups, and trying to ensure that we have similar policies across the region, I think could be helpful. The city of Courtney, of course, has facilities, as do the other municipalities. So I'd like to move, I guess, Chair, at some point, just that we refer, if the policy passes, that we refer the policy to our municipal partners.
Thanks for that suggestion. Does staff want to comment on, because a referral is a formal process when we do it from CVRD to our municipal partners. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
It was running through my mind also the purpose of the referral, and if the referral is to share information, if the commission supports the recommendation here to approve the policy, and then does a subsequent referral to share for information, then that would be the extent of it, to share from information, and there's no sort of follow-up or nothing additional beyond that. If it was a more formal, as you say, referral to either seek feedback or gather input or try to align efforts, then that would be a much different process we'd be considering.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that clarification. And that's in line with what you're suggesting? Okay, great. In that case, we'll dispense with receipt to move on to the recommendation.
Sorry, I think, I'm not sure if all in the line would have seen that because I saw heads nodding, but the intent would be that it be referred for information, just for information. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm in agreement with all the comments that you shared. I think it's really important that we look at these policies and keep them up to date and make sure that they reflect the expectations around how we use public spaces that are, funded by the community. These are facilities that are owned by the community, and they need to share those values and have clear policy in place when we may encounter requests that maybe don't align with how we'd like to see them used. So yeah, just want to appreciate staff for bringing this up to date and making sure our policies are meeting our needs. And seeing no other lights on, we'll dispense with receipt. Is there anyone opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. And moved by Hillian, seconded by Kerr. Any comments or further thoughts on this? Seeing none, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that's carried unanimously. And back to Director Jolly-Kerr.
Thanks, Chair. I'd like to move that the Comox Valley Recreation Commission refer the recreation facility rental and booking policy approved today to all municipal partners in the Comox Valley.
Yeah. Thanks for that motion. I'll just give staff a moment to make sure that we got the wording clear. You got it? Are there any further comments on that? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. We have a nice short agenda today, so I'll just ask for termination. I'll assume no one's opposed to that. Thanks, everyone.